afternoon, now that August is here. Welcome to Silverstone, home of Queen Elizabeth II, the world's longest reigning monarch. And Silverstone, this is the home and birthplace of Formula One. And this is time for qualifying around an old RAF base, 3.66 miles long, the traditional three sectors, 209 miles per hour is the top speed around this circuit. Watch out for Lewis Hamilton. He's got the lap record of 1:27.369. And last year, him and Valtteri Bottas went hammer and toe through Luffield. Hamilton right round the outside, but Bottas with the inside line managing to keep the positions. Cobb's corner on the opening lap. Well, Ricciardo and Norris last year went side by side. We're going to expect a lot of that this year as well. And down at the Vale chicane at turn 16, Vettel and Verstappen came to blows. Vettel forgetting which pedal was the brake. 3 tyre compounds to manage this hard circuit. It is the soft, which is the red wall tyre. The medium is the yellow, and the hard is the white wall tyre. The medium tyre is 0.9 a lap slower. The hard 1.6. The hard is actually the C1 tyre compound. The medium, the C2. The soft is the C3. Track temperature is up now 40 degrees. There's a lull in the atmosphere with the rain still predicted to be qualifying session will be at 60% chance of rain. Air temperature at 22 degrees as well. Alongside me in the commentary box here is Megan Birch. Megan, the British Grand Prix at Silverstone, you just can't beat it, can you?
No, it's a traditional Grand Prix and the first Grand Prix that ever happened.
And we celebrate that next weekend with the 70th anniversary. But first, it's the more traditional British Grand Prix. And doesn't that look like a sad sight? I remember parking in that car park a couple of years ago for the World Endurance Championship, just opposite the start-finish straight. But there are no fans in attendance, which means as we go all the way around the world, hopefully, thank you very much for joining our coverage. But it's sad that there's no fans at home, is there?
Yeah, it's very sad.
Hopefully we'll be back next year. Now sitting at race control, and hopefully this is going to work. Sitting at race control for us is Ian Birch, our father. Good afternoon, Dad. What are you seeing here today after free practice 3?
Well, hopefully we're not going to have any rain. 60% chance of rain, but I feel that looking at the sky, it's a lot of cumulus nimbus clouds there, but there's only a few dark ones, so maybe we'll get away with it. It's only an hour. Maybe the rain will hold off until F2.
Do you think that we could see an interesting pole position? Is it going to be Bottas or Hamilton? Or are we going to see a surprise from the Red Bulls?
I doubt we'll see anything can happen in Formula One. But I think it's between the top 3 for the pole.
Thank you, Dad. He'll be sat at race control for us throughout this session. If he wants to say anything, he can wave his hand and we can pop him on as he's sat at race control. Megan, this is going to be an interesting session as Dad's now making funny faces down at the side of the camera. We see Lando Norris there with the helmet designed by Eva, and she's done a brilliant job, just a 60-year-old girl, a fan of Lando Norris, and he's picked her helmet as the special livery for this weekend. It's a good helmet, and it's a good sort of reminder that there are nice guys in Formula One, and Lando Norris definitely is a nice guy.
Yes, it certainly is a good reminder of that fact.
10 seconds to go until qualifying starts then. We'll go through the procedure as per usual. We are live here. Sit back and enjoy qualifying at Silverstone. And the green light is on, and the first part of qualifying is underway for the 2020 British Grand Prix. 18 minutes ahead of us, and all 20 cars will venture onto the track in order to try and gain a lap time. At the end of this session, we will lose the slowest 5 drivers. And Megan, there's a man who hasn't been qualifying for 3 races, but 8 months apart. Nico Hülkenberg back in Formula One. He's acclimatized himself better now to that racing point. Do you think he could get through to qualifying 3 and be in the top 10?
I really hope so, because then it'll just prove that he can't lose it.
No, you can't lose it, can you? He's too young to lose it anyway. We're trying telling Fernando Alonso that. Carlos Sainz then strapped into that McLaren. His last British Grand Prix as a McLaren driver. Next year, he will be with the Scuderia. Max Verstappen getting ready to go out onto the track. He's not in a hurry at the moment. Final bit of polishing going on that matte livery of the Red Bull. His teammate Alexander Albon, though, had an ERS issue earlier on in free practice 3. It has been repaired, but it lost him a lot of track time. And crucially, Megan, Alex Albon only got a number of laps in race runs and qualifying runs yesterday when the track temperature was 10 degrees higher. So it's now 20-degree track temperature. It's going to be an awful big change for him to try and acclimatise in a session where one mistake, you're out.
Yeah, it is very difficult to acclimatise to that, and especially with conditions this weekend.
Do you think that we could see a chance of rain? They are saying 60%, but it's a bit strange when we've got sunshine at one half of the track and rain at the other.
Well, it's not unusual for the weather to change. I mean, it's unpredictable. It's always been unpredictable for the weather to change. Not even the weather people can decide that.
No, indeed not. And it is the land of 4 seasons. I thought Melbourne was bad. Here we get a lot more. Dad's at race control. What do you want to say, Dad?
Well, the thing about this track, as we said in practice 3, is that
we are losing.
Families.
You have to repeat that a little bit. We were losing your connection. Maybe moving to Buckinghamshire. Over to you.
Yeah, a lot of the families live around this track, and it's very easy for them to send a message through saying that, it's raining here, like they did yesterday afternoon. And they were able to know that they had 5 minutes
before the rain
started finishing. It's one of those tracks where there's that many people around the track able to contact the teams that you don't need spotters, which you do at other tracks.
Yes, you're absolutely right as well. We're just having a quick look at the circuit as we've got Kimi Räikkönen on a lap time now. Räikkönen, fastest second sector, and nobody's on a real lap time at this moment, but yeah. So, Megan, Räikkönen. He's 41 years old. I've just remember we left him on race control. He's 40 years old. He will not be the oldest driver in Formula 1. Fernando Alonso will be next year. But
my favourite driver.
Him and Alonso started at the same time. But yes, both of them have had seasons off, actually, in Formula 1. Räikkönen had 3 off. Alonso only had 1 off in 2002 when he didn't race. He then returned for...
I love both Alonso and Räikkönen.
Who do you think is going to be more respected in Formula 1, Alonso or Räikkönen? Both world champions going forward. Who do you think?
I'm not really sure. I mean, they both have a certain type of respect for them in Formula 1 since they've been in it a long time and known each other a long time. So I know everyone would say probably Alonso, but I feel like it'll be more likely Räikkönen.
I agree. More times now being set on the board. Kevin Magnussen sets the fastest time, a 1:27.814. Romain Grosjean goes into second, a 1:27.890. Giovinazzi third, a 1:29.924. Räikkönen fourth, a 1:27.941. As more cars start to come onto the track, Esteban Ocon and Lewis Hamilton, I believe Valtteri Bottas just behind him as well. Bottas gets compromised there by the Williams, I believe, of George Russell. It is coming out onto the track as well. The Latifi's already out there. Only Verstappen, Ocon and Albon haven't headed out onto the track at the moment as we go on. Many people saying as well, Alonso more respected, Kimi is cooler. Very good from Chris in Colorado on the live chat. I think we agree with that. Yeah, Alonso more respected,
especially
but Kimi cooler.
With eating the ice cream during
yes, he is. For during a red flag in Malaysia all those years ago. I've changed my mind now. I think you say, who did you say again? I forgot.
I think Räikkönen. That's just because I see that loads of similarities. Me and him.
2 different side points, but you and Kimi are pretty similar.
Yeah.
But I do think Alonso is slightly more respected, but there's been a lot of split in halves, really, whether he deserves a place in Formula 1, whether he's holding people back going forward or not in the junior categories. That is remained to be seen. But I bring that up as well to get back to my point, was that there was no love lost between Nico Hülkenberg and Sebastian Vettel in free practice 3 this morning. On Hülkenberg's fast run, he got compromised by Sebastian Vettel chopping him off down the hangar straight, and Hülkenberg at the end of the session put his hand up to Sebastian in order to say, what are you doing? Hülkenberg is on a lap, though. His first qualifying since the 2019 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. I know that doesn't seem so long ago. Just gets a little wiggle coming out and on the AstroTurf for the exit of Aintree before the Wellington Straight. I know it doesn't sound long, but Hülkenberg has been gone for 8 months. He's only missed 3 races, as I keep reminding people. But he hasn't lost it that much, has he? And he's acclimatized well to the car, as we said at the beginning of the session. Gasly's on the fastest middle sector of anyone at 27.922. That's then followed by Hülkenberg, who's right behind him. Latifi's on a lap time as well. Round Copse Corner, flat out that time before the twists of Maggots and Beckett's for Hülkenberg. Hits one apex and then the left and the right. A relentless G-force on your neck as you flick it through Chapel and open up the DRS down the hanger straight. And then you just pull the paddles to select the next gear up to 8th gear before hitting the brake hard into almost a downhill section, it feels like, because the G-force is so hard on your body as you go into Stowe. And then the Vale chicane, hard brake, then turn to the left, turn to the right, get the power on easy as you approach Club Corner, jump the curb almost at the exit. Hülkenberg does a 1:26.912, goes second fastest. Kvyat was top. His teammate Gasly beats that time, 1:26.957. Megan, the times set by the AlphaTauri are already quicker than the times we saw yesterday in practice. The track temperature's coming down. As we just see Latifi in 6th place. Megan?
You can see that the top 5
Yes.
are all similar teams.
They are indeed. We've got the 2 AlphaTauri. Racing Point sort of splitting the way. Stroll now goes fastest at 1:26.555. Leclerc, 0.005 of a second faster, 1:26.550 as he goes across the board. It is very close. 5 thousandths around a lap of Silverstone.
It's like the closest it's ever been.
We've had the same time before in Jerez in 1997. 3 drivers at a 1:21.072, and that was Schumacher, followed by Villeneuve and Frentzen, all setting the same time to the nearest thousandths of a second.
Jeez.
So, yeah, there's you go. We've had an off-track moment for Lando Norris. He got caught out at the loop section as he was drifted off course before coming into Aintree and the Wellington Straight. Hamilton now goes top. 1:26.431 is his time at the moment. Bottas immediately faster by 0.3, 1:26.092. All drivers out there at the moment with 10 minutes to go on the soft compound tyre. So no one's hanging around. In the drop zone, we've got Raikkonen, and then still to complete lap times, Norris, Verstappen, Ocon and Albon. So we're not going to trust that just yet. Albon and Verstappen are on a lap time, and I think Albon is ahead of Verstappen. He is indeed. And Albon is faster, but not by much. Albon's got a 1/10 of a second to Valtteri Bottas at the moment. So we'll keep his eyes open as well as he blasts through towards Copse Corner along the National Pit Straight, the turn 9 entry speed. He's going 303 kilometres, and it almost looked like he was sending it back to the future. Coming out, he got very much on the exit curve of Copse Corner, kicking up the sparks left and right. Megan, that was like a movie scene. That was unbelievable.
It's like when you're watching Back to the Future.
Indeed. As we see, Albon is 9/10 of a second, but he's got traffic. I think that's Lance Stroll in the way. Loads of cars pulling to the right-hand side of the hangar straight before the fast Stowe complex. Again, getting wide is Albon. If he goes all 4 wheels off the track and over the white line, his lap time will be deleted, and the stewards will notify us for that. A scruffy lap for Albon, but it should be enough to put him into the top 15, comfortably so. Puts him in the top 5. Albon 5th. Verstappen sets a stellar 3rd sector, only goes 2nd fastest, but it's a 1:26.115 and it's 0.023 off of Bottas. Unbelievable lap time. Norris got compromised there. I think he's backed off his lap there, Megan. I think he's got compromised. There's so much traffic in the 3rd sector of the track.
Who's going in the pit?
We've got the 2 Haas cars of Grosjean ahead of Magnussen. Then we've got Russell. And so much compromising as we see Albon through Copse Corner, going a little bit wide off the track. He should be fine. He kept 2 wheels over that control line. Lewis Hamilton coming into Farm Curve and the Village at turn 3. Little off-track moment. Yes, we saw that in practice 3, Dad. I want to bring it to you. We saw that in practice 3. A lot of drivers having crunch points at that loop section.
Yeah, it's that's what the practice 3 is about. It's about pushing it to the limit to see what happens and finding those points and dealing with them. and the engineers and the drivers will have spoken and developed a system for that area. But we also had some oil and petrol dropped in the F3 race this morning, and I'm hoping that does not affect this qualifying. It hasn't up to now, so hopefully they've just been cautious.
Agreed, absolutely. The oil that was dropped is at the last corner, club corner. It's a fast corner, and it's just off the racing line. But if it does start to rain, I highly doubt it is. I must stress that. But it's Silverstone. Anything can happen. We could have snow in a minute. But if it does start to rain, that could be an issue because it might not have soaked up in time. It only happened this morning, so it still could be very fresh. Grosjean got a lot of traffic on this lap, but he's just coming round club corner, goes 14th and gets himself out of the elimination zone. But then Magnussen goes 14th, drops Grosjean to 15th. So the two Haas cars work in unison. Big slide for Giovinazzi.
And Grosjean's back in the elimination zone.
He is indeed, as Russell's gone 13th. So could we see a Williams in Q2 once again? We saw it in the last two races. Oh, Norris goes 10th, gets himself out of the elimination zone. But Giovinazzi, I think, got on that oil, Dad.
Yeah, as we saw at club there, there's still a lot of chalk dust down.
Yeah.
So it's a big reminder to the drivers that if they needed it, that to what.
Agreed with you there, Dad. As well as we see Esteban Ocon on a lap time at the moment. And it's all going pretty smoothly so far, this qualifying session. Drivers completed their 3 runs and they're now coming into the pit lane. So looking at the stats, driver at risk is Ocon of being eliminated, a 1:27.161. And Magnussen's a 10th off. I think everybody below Kvyat in 8th place will have to go again. And that's including Kvyat. I think there's too much time there to be sort of displayed, dismantled. Don't know. Displaced. That's the word I'm looking for. Into the pit lane comes Lando Norris and Carlos Sainz. Then Esteban Ocon will complete his lap. Only improves up to 14th. A 1:26.987. That puts Russell into 15th place. Replay of Romain Grosjean coming into the Vale chicane. Takes a bit too much curb. Unsettles the car. Does he go on the oil? No. Exit. No, I don't know what's happening here. Antonio Giovinazzi, he gets a little wiggle. Oh, and that was a slide we saw on the TV pictures live. Little wiggle coming out of the Vale chicane towards club. Carlos Sainz through Brooklands. He had to take a wide line in to avoid a car, and he compromises. Oh, and he's got a red bull in the way. And that is it. That's impeding. They should have got out of the way. Carlos Sainz says over the team radio there. Dad.
I think what they were showing you there on the replays was what we had been talking about.
Yeah.
The fact that the drivers and the engineers had realised that you have to approach that with a little bit more over the curb so that you miss the oil as you take the next corner.
I'm just having a quick look to see if we can see anything about the lap times being deleted on my notes on my laptop. Track limits we have to watch out for is at turn 9's exit, which is at my Copse, and turn 15's exit, which is Stowe. They're the only two we have to keep an eye on. So the exit of Stowe and the exit of Copse. I'm so used to being Copse being turn number 1, of course, but it's been 10 years since they moved the start-finish straight. And we turned to this international Grand Prix layout that you almost forget what the original circuit looked like.
Yeah, it's been 10 years. You should deal with it by now.
I should have. I really should have dealt with it by now.
It's a corner.
It is a corner. Well, for me, there's still a corner called Bridge, and under the bridge, Abbey's a chicane, not a fast right. It's all a matter of perspective. It's all a matter of remembering what it is. I remember Heinz-Harald Frentzen doing an absolute fantastic move around the outside into the Abbey chicane in about 2001, only for Frentzen to get back past Alesi later on in that race. So yeah, a lot of controversial stuff. We've got 3 minutes left of this first session.
Isn't it always?
It is always controversial in Formula One. You're right there. We have got times coming out then, and who is coming out? It's on right, but it's moved to everyone below Pierre Gasly's heading back out. And Sebastian Vettel's having to go back out as well. He's not comfortable with that car. But then again, we saw all weekend he's had problems. Down at race control.
You mean it's Abbey, Aintree, Village, the Loop, Farm Curve,
Yeah.
Wellington Straight, Brooklands, Luffield, Woodcop, Corpse, Maggots, Beckett's, Chapel, Hanger Straight again. Oh,
Yeah,
what have
two
we got two? Oh, we've got Hanger and Wellington, haven't we? That's
Yeah,
right.
2 straights.
Stowe, Vale and Club.
Yep.
Club.
You're wearing your T-shirt that viewers saw in the 3 practice 3 session earlier on.
Now you've said how I remember them.
Thanks, Dad. We'll get back to you in a few minutes' time. We've got the 2 minutes coming up, so we have to talk non-stop for 2 minutes. Nobody's been doing that all the time, but here we go. 2 minutes to go then in the first part of qualifying for the 2020 British Grand Prix. We have got everybody from below Lance Stroll heading out onto the tracks. That's interesting, Megan. The top 5 deciding that their lap times aren't good enough for going back out. But we've got Bottas, Hamilton. Oh, Hamilton's coming back out. Well, this is interesting. They're all heading out onto the track. It's
probably just like, I want to be in first.
Track temperature at 39 degrees. It's rising to more than it was this morning. So I don't know why they want to head out onto the track.
What was it this morning?
Track temperature this morning was 30 degrees, with air temperature at 20. So
Cooler than yesterday.
Yeah, but it was, because the track temperature yesterday was at 53 degrees. But so it's decreased dramatically. But in terms of session to session, the track temperature has risen in between.
Speaking of, I didn't feel hot in this commentary box at all yesterday, and yet you did.
I'm feeling hot near the commentary box now. Are you doing any better?
I feel a breeze coming through.
Oh, well, you're closer to the door than me, and I've got a light straight in front
You
of me.
stand there.
And you've just knocked off your mic shield. So if I point that over, Megan will fix her headset and I'll start commentating still. Raikkonen is on a lap time. He's looking a bit quicker. Megan, he's 17th at the moment. Alfa Romeo haven't exactly had a good result of getting through to qualifying. Do you think they can get through to Q2? No. Dad at Race Control.
Well, did you notice that they have turned the adverts on around the track?
They have.
I don't know
if
they have if the big screens are on for the drivers. As the drivers requested, we've got somebody off.
It's Nicholas Latifi. He's spun, and that looks to be at Luffield at the exit. And it is at Luffield.
Gardner's going to ride.
And he's gone backwards. That's going to compromise everyone behind him. There's quite a number as well.
Yellow flag.
The checkered flag is coming out. It's clear in Sector 8, so it was at Luffield. Raikkonen doesn't improve. He stays 17th, and he's backed off. So Raikkonen is eliminated from qualifying. Green flag. The session's underway. Here comes Giovinazzi then. Into the last 2 corners. And he has got going. Checkered flag is now out. Giovinazzi, the first one to meet it across the line. He's out of qualifying. Both of the Alfa Romeos eliminated. Giovinazzi 16th. Gasly confirms in 4th place as well. Here comes Kevin Magnussen in the Haas. Can he do anything at all to displace George Russell? Hulkenberg brilliantly goes 4th, a 1:26.327. He's improving up the way. Grosjean's eliminated. Is Magnussen? Yes! Both Haas cars eliminated. And we know Raikkonen's already backed off. I don't think Latifi can improve at all. But George Russell, for the 3rd race running, comes across the line and puts in a stellar time to go 9th. A 1:26.732. And Sainz goes into 9th place. Grosjean is out. Raikkonen's eliminated. Vettel improves up to 6th place, a 1:26.469. But Latifi out. But for the 3rd race running, in such mixed conditions, George Russell does get through to qualifying. 2. There goes Ricciardo. He goes 10th fastest. Kvyat goes 13th, Norris in 14th, Ocon will be safe in 15th. Raikkonen has definitely backed off. Ocon goes 7th though. McLaren with work to do for Lando Norris to get him through, but a stellar lap time. Stroll's got into 4th as well. He's the last one across it, but for the 3rd race running, it is going to be a Williams in Q2 with George Russell. He did it in the wet exterior. He's done it in the mixed conditions in Budapest 2 weeks ago. And this week, he's done a brilliant job while his teammate Nicholas Latifi spins at the exit of Luffield and into the gravel trap, spoiling his lap. Eliminated from the first part of qualifying is Kevin Magnussen for Haas, Antonio Giovinazzi for Alfa Romeo, Kimi Raikkonen for Alfa Romeo, Romain Grosjean for Haas, and Williams have lost Nicholas Latifi. But the big story is that George Russell, once again, is through to the next part of qualifying.
Oh, no, I'm just asking where something was.
Oh, sorry. I was just doing my big crescendo moment there.
You've misplaced something.
Have I misplaced what? Oh, it's there.
I found it.
I know what you're looking for. The blue tack. It's at the side there to put your notes up. But yeah, Dad, bringing you in. He's done it again, George Russell. The car may not be a racer, but it's certainly a qualifier.
Yeah, it's the talent of Russell coming through there to get that car up into the position it has. What I'm looking at that,
Yeah.
I'm not surprised at Ricardo's position, but I am with Sainz and Norris.
Yep, Sainz is 12th, Norris 15th, and at this rate, they will both be eliminated from the next part of qualifying. Incident involving car 3, Russell, under investigation, failing to slow under yellow flags. Well, to me, he was out of the zone for the yellow flag. So how are they going to work that one out?
He was out of his zone.
Yeah, he was
While it was
nowhere near.
happening, he was down at 12.8.
And the green flags came out on his run, Dad.
Well, that could mean that George, if
Lap time
George has got
deletion,
till lap time deletion or a penalty.
I'm just looking.
George,
Sorry, Dad. Lap time deleted for George Russell. It's dropped him down to 13th at the moment. He is qualified for Q2, but that could change if because they said in the notes they'd take the other lap off as well. So yeah.
So hopefully for George that won't happen.
We'll keep an eye out.
It's a stupid thing to take both laps out.
Yeah, apparently it's because you'll have the advantage on the next one. Yeah. It's apparently because you'll have the advantage on your next run that it would be an issue. Megan, what do you think on this matter? Do you think George will be able to keep his Q2 appearance?
I hope. I mean, he wasn't anywhere near.
No, he wasn't. He absolutely wasn't. They are getting ready.
It's not like.
Sorry, hang on.
Expect others to do that.
Back to you, Dad.
We don't want the stupid situation we had with Jensen years ago.
Yeah.
Where he could be chucked out of Q2.
Okay, let's have a look. Where is he? This is Russell. Oh, no, he's gone. Look, he's on the track there. There's a green flag. No, I think that's fine. We've just seen a replay of George Russell coming through the Brooklands Lovefield section towards Woodcote. There's a green flag clearly indicated on the right-hand side of the picture as Nicholas Latifi's teammate is coming back onto the track and he is safely at a distance. I think that's perfectly fine, Dad. What do you think?
Yeah, it looked it, didn't it? But you never know what camera they're actually looking at. We had this with Lewis, didn't we?
One in Magical Land.
Yes, we had this with Lewis a couple of weeks ago in Austria as well. Matt Gallagher has just come through on my watch. He's tweeted saying that he very much fears a penalty for George Russell. I don't agree with him there. You are still on, Dad, by the way.
Well, I think that the way the stewards work, who is the steward this weekend?
Not too sure.
Is it Blundell?
I think it is. No, he's at the British Touring Car Championship. I think it's Tom Christensen.
Yeah, I don't know.
Incident involving...
The rules are the rules.
Incident involving car 63, George Russell, will be investigated after the session. So they're going to take a closer look at that.
Give him a good penalty.
So let's hope he does a good qualifying going forward as well in the next part of the session. Megan, any stats you saw in that session that you want to bring up here in the break?
Only that...
Megan's eyes are fixed on the Ferrari mechanics who are bringing tyres in.
I'm just thinking, how can they do any more work on that car?
Which one?
Vettel's. I mean, they did so much work in it yesterday, and I think they finally got it up to some sort of standard. And yet today, it's just like, oh, everything's wrong again. What is happening to that car during the night?
There was a lot of work still in FP3 when me and Dad were in the commentary box, and there was a lot of work still trying to be brought down in that. Williams were 1.027 seconds slower than any other car last year in qualifying one at the British Grand Prix. This year, they've got George Russell through. It's a step in the right direction for Williams, but it's going to take a long time for them to get back up to race pace. Q2 is coming your way in a few moments' time as we look on the paddock. That brings back memories from when I was at Silverstone for the World Endurance Championship. Many of you might remember that when we broadcast live in the 6 hours of Silverstone. And the green light is on, and the second part of qualifying is underway for the 2020 British Grand Prix. 15 minutes and 15 drivers will head out onto the track. Once again, at the end of this session, we will lose the slowest 5 drivers. Air temperature at 22 degrees, track temperature at 37 degrees, humidity at 56%. If you're in America or use the Fahrenheit system, it's 72 degrees Fahrenheit, 99-degree track temperature of Fahrenheit as well. In this session, we have Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen, Stroll, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Ocon, Vettel, Leclerc, Albon, Ricciardo, Sainz, Russell, Kvyat and Lando Norris all going forward. Out of the qualifying is Kevin Magnussen, Antonio Giovinazzi, Kimi Raikkonen, Romain Grosjean and Nicholas Latifi. Megan, I think you're going to say something.
I was actually thinking, I don't understand how to use Fahrenheit.
I don't. I just stick with degrees.
I
It's
mean-
simpler. I think it's just the same because we try and convert it before back into degrees.
Yeah, because once I was watching a YouTuber and they said, "Oh, it's like 99 degrees out." I was like, "What?"
Yeah, for us in Celsius, that's a chicken
Yeah.
being cooked.
Even then, it's like way too high.
Cup of
But it's
tea,
just cold.
water boils, of course, and our kettle.
British people would do good in the Antarctic.
Mm.
We
Really?
know what it's like cold anyway.
I was going to say that Kimi Raikkonen would do well. He was thundering and raining in Malaysia and ice cream.
Any high up country is good.
Dad's at race control. Over to you, Dad.
So what sounds better to you? 80 degrees Fahrenheit or 35, 40 degrees? So centigrade. Sounds much better if you say 80 degrees, doesn't it?
Yeah. It
When I
does.
was a kid, it was hot all the time in the summer,
Why?
and like
Climate change. Go on,
no,
Dad.
76 was one of the hottest years ever.
1976,
And
yeah.
you know, we never talked about, oh, it's 35 degrees like it was yesterday at Silverstone.
Mm.
We talked about it being 80, 85 degrees.
It was
It
boiling.
sounds so much better than 35.
Well, yesterday is as-
35, you think,
yeah.
well, that's not much.
Yesterday, the track temperature
But-
was at 50
Yeah.
30.
degrees. Yeah. I'm surprised that we've seen so many people going out on the medium compound tyre at the moment to do their qualifying runs. Now, to explain everybody what is happening in qualifying 2, if you're new to Formula 1, they typically do about 2 runs in this session. One run will be on the tyre that they aim to start the race with. So that's why most of the field is going to start on the mediums, it looks like. I can tell you that on the medium tyres, we've got Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen, Stroll, Hülkenberg, then followed by Leclerc and Stroll as well. Everyone else is on the soft compound tyre. But and then if their first one isn't quick enough on the mediums, it will be onto the soft compound tyre to start the race on, but that's unlikely. Dad.
Yeah, obviously, to clarify that, you start the race tomorrow in the fastest tyre that you used in Q2.
Yes.
The fastest time in Q2, whatever tyre you use, that is the actual tyre that you have to start on unless it rains.
Absolutely. Correct. That is the rule. Thank you for clarifying that. Albon had a little moment coming through the back half of the track there into the loop. And he has set the fastest sector, but that car looking very much unstable. He did have a crash yesterday, Alexander Albon, down at Stowe Corner. And the car just doesn't look stable. He's jittering the steering wheel so much coming through Copse Corner. That should be a quick flick in these days. Let's see what he does with Maggots and Beckett's. Well, the steering wheels are okay through Maggots. The second half, Beckett's, no, he's fighting understeer and oversteer at the exits as well. Through Chapel is okay. DRS is open. Fastest second sector of anyone. But Bottas has set the fast first sector. Hülkenberg, get in, is fastest second sector. He's okay coming in the exits. Alexander Albon through Stowe into the Vale chicane. He'll be the first one to set some lap times on the board for Alexander Albon. So this is the times we'll see. The time to beat is a 1:26.580 on the medium compound tyre for Alexander Albon. As we continue, Hülkenberg, a 1:26.645, goes into second. Max Verstappen just behind Bottas, lighting up the timing screens like a Christmas tree. at the moment, fastest first and second sector. Verstappen goes top with 1:26.144. Bottas, though, looking so planted with that Mercedes. He's looking quick and unbeatable. He was fastest of all in free practice 3 and a 1:25.015 just out the blocks. 1.1 seconds faster than Verstappen at this moment in time. Stellar lap from Valtteri Bottas there.
I think that was better than last qualifying.
I think that was, yeah. Hamilton's had a little moment. Oh, Hamilton's in the gravel. Hamilton spun. Hamilton is facing the wrong way at the exit of Luffield, and he's destroyed the medium compound tyre. He's got too much power coming the exit of Luffield, and he's spun the car around 360, damaging the medium compound tyres. I don't think he's got many of them left to go forward. 3 sets you're allowed of mediums. And right now, he's used one, so he's only got 1 left. So Hamilton has got to start the race on a set of softs, but he's going for it again, Megan.
What is wrong with him in that car?
I know.
Track today.
Very bizarre. As we come through the gravel track now, Hamilton goes through his own accident. We got a red flag.
What now?
We've got a red flag here at Silverstone in qualifying 2. The clock stops. That's important, Megan.
Look, Hamilton's in the elimination zone right
Hamilton is in the elimination zone. You're correct. And it's a red flag for the gravel on the track at the exit of Luffield. So the session has been stopped. Dad.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say to you. The red flag is because of all the gravel that is on the track at Luffield.
Well, we could be in for... It was a 12-minute delay to qualifying last time out. And crucially, that could also affect the British Touring Car qualifying that is coming up just after this as well. So this is the replay of Hamilton. He's locked. He's just got too much power at the exit. The car just spins around and does a 360, but it deposits all gravel on the track and he's flat spotted all the tyres. What did you make of that one, Dad?
Well, he just loses again, like a lot of people have at that corner. And I just feel that at the end of the day, he's been lucky because he hasn't damaged the car.
He got compromised on the first run as well by the McLaren. And then Bottas, he compromised his teammate as well. But Hamilton brings out the red flag here at Silverstone. He's back in the pit lane. He'll get another attempt at this, but the session stopped here with 8 minutes and 51 seconds to go as they clean the track. Megan.
The impressive thing is he managed to keep 2 tyres on the road.
He did, didn't he? He's only got 1 set of the mediums left. He's got 3 new sets of the softs left, but he'll need the... I think Hamilton is going to have to go for the next run. Hopefully, it'll let us know if the camera quality is okay on the live stream with the Commentary Box camera. I think we just had a blip there as the systems reset themselves for a red flag. So let us know that the camera's all right, please. Those of you watching the group chat, so we know that we're okay. Over to you, Dad, at race control.
The interesting thing is that the change in the tyres, he hasn't actually destroyed them, has he?
No, they look okay, don't they? They look. I think they could be scraped and used in the race tomorrow.
Yeah.
As a used set, so they could have the.
You charge Leclerc, you'll like that.
Yeah, Leclerc. Although he has started to favour brand new ones at the moment. I think the camera is okay, so that's good. Thank you very much for letting us know. Well, Vettel's tyres looks okay, a little bit destroyed, but we have a red flag, which means filler, and we've done quite enough of filling. Back to you, Dad, at race control.
Yeah, sticker reds that
the
Americans would.
Everyone inside,
brand new
red tyres, sticker reds. As Dad was saying.
Isn't that wrong? I think one of them likes.
Leclerc likes them used. Vettel likes them brand new. Yeah.
Likes them brand.
Yeah, we're losing Dad at race control at the moment. We've got a little bit of glitching. I think he's back now. But a new track record for Valtteri Bottas on that fastest run, 1:25.015 was his fastest time. Back to you, Dad.
I'm having no glitches at all.
Oh, we are?
This end, so it's you.
Mine's just rubbish. We're using my piece of technology and it's rubbish.
Okay, well, that's just Megan then.
Your
it's bad for
technology isn't rubbish.
It is when it comes to connection.
Traffic in the last sector with Hamilton. Unacceptable. Unacceptable is what Carlos Sainz has just said over the team radio there. So surprising everybody that it's there. I don't know if how long we're going to be under this red flag, but when the gravel was on in free practice 1, when Giovinazzi went off the track, the red flag was out for 12 minutes before the green flag came out. So I think what they'll do is they'll shorten the gap between qualifying 2 and 3 in order to get this session still in on time, because we also have a Formula 2 race coming up after this as well, Megan.
Well, it's only clearing gravel off the track. I mean, it won't take that long.
Should be done soon. Should be done soon. We're waiting for the confirmation
I mean, look,
from the stewards.
doing it fine.
They've got the tractors out as well. I think that was the wrong call. They've got the big truck brushers out, and that's going to take ages now. So, go and make yourself a cup of tea if you like. We're under red flag here at Silverstone for qualifying 2, and it's delaying the start of. Well, it's not for a lot at home, but it's delaying us from the start of the British Touring Cars.
FP3.
No, I don't think there was. I think we got away with that one.
Every time I'm in the box.
Every time you're in the box, Meg, I've got the solution. Just nip out, would you? And
every single time, every single race I've ever been in, it's had something.
Yeah, just pop out the commentary box, would you? And then we'll have that. Yeah,
drink.
Nah, you stay. Oh, you can go if you like for a sec, but you're staying where you are. We're locked in. The comment box, 8 minutes and 51 seconds to go. We are live. Get your questions in on the YouTube channel as we're under a red flag here at Silverstone for Lewis Hamilton, spinning at Luffield and bringing on the gravel onto the track. He's recovered back to the pit lane, but the session is stopped and we have a waiting game as to when the session will restart from the stewards. The session was red flagged at 2:31. It's now 2:36 and we've got no solution from the stewards yet that we are going green. Megan looks about as bored as he can be. You prefer it when the cars aren't on the track.
I can be border.
Yeah, well, don't. Liven up a little. Give us some stats then about local boy Lando Norris, as he's on our screen at the moment. I know you've got your stat book open, so give us something on Lando Norris, would you please, Megan?
Lando Norris, born United Kingdom, podiums 1.75 in total for everything.
That's in his career.
Prix entered 24 World Championships, nothing. Highest race finish, 3rd once. Highest grid position, 3rd. Date of birth, the 13th of November 1999. Place of birth, Bristol.
Bristol lad. I'm older than Lando Norris. That makes me feel old. Same age, but yeah. Does that mean he's only 20 at the moment?
Yeah.
Oh, my word. Oh, well, I might just give him a message then. Lando Norris done so much for Formula 1 when we were in lockdown as well and the season was off. And I think he's done brilliantly, don't you think?
Yeah.
Session is going to restart at 14:38 in 15 seconds' time. So it hasn't been really that long of a delay, just 6 minutes. We might just get away with this one. It does mean that we would have to go off air quite quickly here on the YouTube live chat at the end of the session.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
That's just because after this we have got the British Touring Car Championship qualifying session that isn't live on YouTube, but it is going to be in a program of a highlight of the weekend next week in between the 2 rounds. So, here we go. The green light is on and the session has restarted here at Silverstone. 8 minutes and 51 seconds remain as we try and get Lewis Hamilton out of the elimination zone here after a spin at Luffield. And he's returned to the pits. And that brought up the red flag for the gravel on the track. Megan.
Norris is also the youngest driver on the grid.
Is he?
Yeah.
I thought Russell he was. George Russell.
Which team was he again?
Williams.
George Russell was born in hold on, next page. George Russell was born the 15th of February 1998.
Oh, so he's a year older. Okay.
Yeah.
A year and a bit older, actually. I hope you're enjoying the commentary box camera and the live radio coverage that we're bringing you here on YouTube. And hopefully you can see how me and Megan work in the commentary box together. It's pretty much how you've seen us when we do commentary box cam anyway. It's pretty much the same.
Life.
Yeah. Well, then we actually spend doing this together. If you're wondering why we're not at a socially distanced level or wearing masks, we are in the same bubble. We live in the same house, obviously, so we don't have to be at a socially
distanced level.
It'll
be awkward if we social distance.
Yes, because that means I would have to stand over here and Megan would have to stand way over there by the second checkered flag. So it works better this way. Didn't you agree, Megan?
Yes.
The only problem is that we can't have anybody else come into the commentary box for guest segments, which was the original plan when we found out that we couldn't go to the British Grand Prix this year. To have more guests come on, but we're trialing with Dad at Race Control. Hopefully throughout the year, in the practice 1 commentaries we do, we'll get somebody on to have a nice chat with as well going forward. So we are going on, Megan.
Hamilton's still in the elimination zone.
Well, he's just standing a lap time now, so he'll be fine. He has gone out, I believe, on a new set of mediums. I am having a look at the timing monitor that we've got just below us for Hamilton. New mediums. Yeah, so it's new mediums for Lewis Hamilton. So he is going out on his only new set. So he will have a used set available going into the race. I think that's best, though, because Silverstone is a tyre killer. He'd want the hard tyres during the race. So he's getting rid of these now. If it rains tomorrow, it's not due to, but if it does, Hamilton will be utterly delighted. He'll be doing a little rain dance this evening, so he doesn't have to use those medium tyres he just made a mistake on. Just like to point out, Megan, on this run, Hamilton is not doing well. His first sector is down by quite a margin, 27.582 to Hulkenberg. This is not going well for Hamilton so far, and there's gravel at the exit of Beckett into Chapel. He's 2/10 off the pace of Bottas.
He's not having a good day.
It would get him into second place, but just as a personal point of view, it's not good to see Lewis Hamilton 2/10 off of his teammate Bottas at his home race. Nigel Mansell once said that the fans give him a second per lap. It's not looking that good. We'll just complete this lap, then we'll go down to race control. As we see, Hamilton does go second at 1:25.347. Down at race control.
Well, yeah, we have no people watching, so they can't give you a second lap. But apart from anything else, Lewis had to get a time in, so he was being cautious. Right?
Okay,
That's the professionalism. He drove well. He didn't go for the pole position type in Q2. He just did a nice performance. And I think that was a good lap by Lewis.
Thank you very much, Dad, at Race Control. Providing us with stats, we'll have Dad actually as part of the commentary team tomorrow permanently, not just acting as a pit reporter for Race Control. He'll be talking throughout the session as well. Dad. Oh, sorry, Dan. Hang on, go again.
Where from?
Either the commentary box or where you are right now at Race Control. One of the two.
I wish you'd check my contract and look at these things.
It says my discretion. Mine, not yours, mine.
You know what my discretion is?
Well, Megan's locked in the box now. I've locked the door so she can't get out.
I know how to unlock it.
That's true. And you have a key, to be fair, as well.
Exactly.
Okay, Meg, let's have a quick look at the elimination zone. We've got Hulkenberg in it. Russell in 12th place. Another great qualifying if he stays where he is. Matches that in Hungary. And then we've got Ricciardo 13th, Gasly 14th, and Kvyat 15th. 3 drivers, though, not setting a time due to that red flag early on. So my question to you is, Megan, 1, can Hulkenberg get into the top 10? 2, who's going to be in the drop zone? Because it's a tight one to call this time.
I really hope Hulkenberg gets into the top 10, and I have a feeling that maybe Ocon won't.
Ocon won't get into the next session.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way to take, and we'll have to keep an eye on that.
What's swapping them around?
Yeah. Swapping them around. Yeah, may as well. Ricciardo 13th at the moment. This will be one of his worst qualifyings of the year if he stays in his current position. As Hamilton's taking his gloves off there. Lovely purple rain helmet and the Black Lives Matter on the top as well for Lewis Hamilton. And he could see his eyes there, focused and determined. I remember qualifying a couple of years ago when he took pole position, 2018 it was, and how much he was shaking after he did the pole lap. Dad?
Well, the philosophy obviously there is that Lewis will only go out again. That's why he's taking his gloves off. If he needs to do more than he needs to keep in Q2. But in second position, you think that him and Bottas have done much to, all the way down to, say, Ocon, that they've done enough to stay in Q2. So they really don't need to go out, and he can save those tyres for Q3.
Yeah, I agree. The top 4 still in the pit lane. Ocon is just coming out of the pit lane now. So Ocon is heading back out. As you said, I don't really think he needs to be, but Ocon is heading onto the track.
Dun, dun, dun.
Megan says he's not going to make it through to the next part of qualifying. I think he might. Megan, Dad.
Yeah, obviously, with the little spin and ruining a set of tyres and what he's had to do,
Bottas
right?
is heading
Yeah.
out.
You've got to feel that Valtteri or Max are favourite for pole.
They're all going out,
I
Dad.
hate to say it. I hate to say it, but I think Valtteri or Max might be favourite for pole.
Thank you, Dad. Bottas has been on pole here twice before. Verstappen's only ever taken 2 poles in his career and has never taken pole at Silverstone. Megan.
Now, all the drivers are out of the pit lane.
Interesting that Vettel's gone for a new set of the medium compound tyres. Lance Stroll has gone for a new set of the mediums as well. But everybody else is on the soft compound tyre. I am interested to see the fact that with 2 minutes to go of the session, all 15 drivers are out on the track and starting their lap times out together.
It's going to be like a car crash.
Well, let's hope we don't get one, to be fair. It's going to be conga here at Silverstone for the second session. 1 minute, 20 seconds left of the running order as well. So, who is going to be my tip to get through? I'm looking at Hulkenberg, but Albon's in 10th place as well. He could put a struggle up as well. Thinking prediction, Megan, that Ocon might not make it, might just be right. He is right there if everybody else nails their lap time.
I am usually a curse for drivers.
And of course, if a yellow flag comes out, their lap times will be void as well. So this is going to be a real issue to have a look. It's the same rule as MotoGP have got. Yellow flag comes out, your lap will be investigated as well. So this is going to be dramatic. Stroll is 1 point James Bond off. That's 1.007 away at the moment as he comes into Stowe Corner. 40 seconds left. He will get another lap, as will Vettel and Hulkenberg, but only just. It takes 1:27 to get around this lap, and they might be the only cars to get another one. So the first battle of laps then. Big oversteer moment of the exit of the Vale chicane for Stroll. Doesn't improve, stays P9 and backs out of it. Stroll might be in the elimination zone here. Vettel doesn't improve, stays 8th. Can't go again. Don't think that was Bottas either getting well. Hulkenberg into Q2, but immediately gets eliminated because he's dropped down to 11th. He was 10th, and now he's been put out by Danny Ricciardo going P7. Ocon stays 5th. Gasly goes 11th. He's eliminated. The checkered flag is out. Everybody's times now count. Sainz goes 4th. Best of the rest so far. Looking good. Albon improving, Russell improving. Albon goes 12th for the second week running. He's eliminated. George Russell starts 14th. He's eliminated. Kvyat hasn't set a time, but he's going quick in the middle two sectors. Norris goes into 8th place. He stays where he is. He gets his elimination run. But the big news is that Albon is eliminated, as is Hulkenberg. That's a shocker. And Kvyat is going to complete the lap time. Kvyat crosses the line. And Kvyat goes 14th, ahead of George Russell. So Russell starts in 15th. Russell now starts 15th on the grid. Kvyat 14th as the timing graphics improve. Hulkenberg starts 13th on his return to Formula One, eliminated from qualifying. Pierre Gasly, who doesn't have a 5-place grid penalty. Alexander Albon starts 12th for Red Bull. Disastrous qualifying for him. The car hasn't looked stable all weekend. Then it's Hulkenberg on his return to Formula One in 13th. That's still an amazing job considering he hasn't driven this car before. 15th for Danny Kvyat. He has a 5-place grid penalty. He will start last, so that promotes George Russell, currently qualified in 15th to start 14th on the grid. Through to the next part of qualifying is Valtteri Bottas, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, Carlos Sainz, Charles Leclerc, Esteban Ocon, Danny Ricciardo, Lando Norris, Sebastian Vettel, and Lance Stroll. What a qualifying two that was, Megan. That was a insane amount. That was dramatic in the end, and Ocon just made it through in 6th place as well. Hulkenberg had a little moment coming through the loop at turn 4 onto the Wellington Straight.
So it really did it, to be honest.
Yeah, that compromised him completely. Stroll himself didn't improve further up. He had a massive slide out of the Vale chicane, and that lost him a lot of positions as well, a lot of time, sorry. So dramatic stuff here at Silverstone as we continue on, as we wait now to go into qualifying 3, which I believe the stewards are saying will be on soon. Insta involving car 7 Raikkonen and 31 Ocon in Q1 will be investigated after the session, alleged impeding. Do you remember at the time I did bring that up, that there was something fishy there and that there might be an investigation for impeding? So, end of Q2. Wait now for Q3, which should have started just a minute ago, to be fair. So 12 minutes ahead of us, and it should have started by now. So we are going to be in a delayed format here as we wait to go on. As we're going to wait and wonder. The British Touring Car Championship are starting their season at Donington Park. It's live on itv.btcc.com, and that is on. Coverage starts at 3:10 UK time. You've got 20 minutes for that. and coverage on tomorrow as well. Formula One is live on Channel 4 all weekend long, as are we here on the YouTube channel for watch along coverage. And as usual, it's live on Sky F1. And for the first time as well, it's on the main channel of Sky One as well. So it's on free to air all weekend for the British Grand Prix. And I understand that even the 70th anniversary Grand Prix next weekend at Silverstone might be on Sky One as well. So that could be an interesting solution. I think Dad is wanting to say something in the commentary. I'll go to him now. Dad.
I'm just having a nice little drink in between cues.
Very nice. Q2 will start. Q3.
I've had a sandwich as well.
Megan's now that's
supplied by
McLaren.
Is he turning me off?
No, you're on. You're on. Go on.
Right. Yeah.
Q3 will start at 14:55.
I still want Lewis to get pole, but I don't think he'll just do enough to be on the front row.
I agree. I think he hasn't got enough at the moment. Thank you very much, Dad, at Race Control. So Q3 will start at 14:55 local time. That is in around about 3.5 minutes. Looking at my watch and doing basic maths, which I'm not good at. Megan, is it 3? Sorry, your mic's muted. I don't know why. Is it the time coming up now? About 3 minutes away.
What time's it supposed to be?
14:55 it starts.
14:55.
Megan working it out. I think it is 3 minutes coming up. So we'll just wait. 3 minutes time. 3 minutes time. Yeah, we just had it in my ear as well. 3 minutes time. So we will wait 3 minutes, a more delayed part to qualifying, a longer qualifying than we were predicting. But thank you for sticking with us here on the YouTube channel. We are live tomorrow as well with watch along commentary of the main race. Coverage getting underway at 2:05 UK time as well. And that is going to be fun. Actually, we might start a little bit earlier to have a little bit of a pre-race, and then we'll pop the headsets on and go for the race itself. 21 drivers entered this weekend's race. Sergio Perez withdrew with the COVID-19 virus. We send our best wishes to him that he recovers soon. So Nico Hülkenberg is entered in his place, and Dad is waving at Race Control. Well, he would be if we could hear him, but unfortunately, it's a bit. The radio signal has gone.
Sergio has got the virus.
Yes, Dad, if we can hear you. We've lost him. We've lost him there. The connection is poor at the moment. And
all I heard was Sergio's got the virus.
That was all I heard as well. Back to you, Dad. I think we've established communications with you.
Well, it's about time too.
I agree.
Do you know, my coffee's getting cold.
Sorry. You should have a bottled drink like me.
I've eaten my sandwich.
Very nice. What was it?
Well,
British picnic at the British Grand Prix.
Update on Sergio.
Yes, update on Sergio Perez.
Is that Sergio is now isolated away from the track.
Good. Okay.
Right. He hasn't got. He tested positive. The engineer tested negative.
That's more good news. Yes.
Yeah, and also, although he tested positive, he isn't showing signs of the virus.
That's even more positive news. So he might be able to get rid of it within the 10 days.
That's good news. He contracted it because his mum wasn't very well. So obviously he went back to Mexico to see his mum.
He did, and somehow caught it on the way.
He probably caught it after seeing her at probably like the airport or something.
He took a private plane apparently, but there are numerous things in the media being said as I look at different ones saying that he actually holidayed in Italy for a few days. I don't believe that personally, but if that is so, then we'll wait to be seen. But the official statement is that his mother is ill, and never doubted that, and that he contracted it on the way somewhere along the track. But we will wait and see what the full story is in the coming weeks. But right now, all we know is that he has got the virus, and the most important thing is that he gets well ASAP. At least he looks to be out for 2 races out of the 3, so he might be back at the Spanish Grand Prix. If not, Nico Hülkenberg will keep his seat warm just a little bit longer. I think Dad is waiting at Sky Race. No, he's not waiting. We're coming up then to the green light here for the British Grand Prix, third part of qualifying. Last segment is coming up, 12 minutes to decide the running order of the session as well. We'll be quiet as we start the session. Go in and press the record button. And the green light is on, and the third and final part of qualifying is underway here at the British Grand Prix. I don't know, 12 minutes ahead of us as well. Going forward, Lando Norris, the first car out onto the track. We just have to do some little other features as well. Going forward, Dad's at race control.
Yeah, this is it. This is it.
Just had to deal with some technical bits. Over to you, Dad. We couldn't hear you for a second, but we got you back.
This is it. I still favour Bottas for the pole here because Lewis has got to save his tyres.
Absolutely.
But you never know with Lewis. He doesn't like to give up.
Absolutely so. Yes, indeed. Now, Q3 has begun here at British Grand Prix at Silverstone. 12 minutes with 10 drivers, and they are all going for it here at Silverstone. It looks to be a good one. It looks to be a quick one. Who's going to be the luckiest and who is going to be the closest as well? It's going to be fun, and I've just been told as well that we're having some issues with the connections. Hopefully you're there, but I'll have to pop out the commentary box when this is finished and let Megan and Dad talk you through it. 12 minutes ahead of us. It's going to be a close one, isn't it? 5 past the hour. It looks to finish, and we might just be okay. Cars coming out onto the track then. In this session, we have Bottas, Hamilton, Verstappen, Sainz, Leclerc, Ocon, Ricciardo, Norris, Vettel and Stroll all taking part in this session. I've just remembered there's a camera, so I'll look directly at you for a change as well. Previous qualifyings here, well, Hamilton had a run of them from 2015 to 2018. Last year, Valtteri Bottas took his first pole position here at Silverstone of the actual British Grand Prix. Bottas seems to be strong here so far in qualifying. Is he going to take pole position, or can Hamilton find some of that Silverstone magic that makes him both a 6-time pole sitter and a 6-time winner of this event? Let us know in the YouTube comments now on the live chat. Who are you picking for pole position for the British Grand Prix as well? Lance Stroll is, and Stroll coming through. Ferrari, very unsafe release at the moment as he goes through and nearly had the accident with Sebastian Vettel. So Stroll nearly in trouble as well. We're having a little issue here in the commentary. Hopefully you're still seeing us. Apparently there's some sort of internet connection issues that is causing problems at race control. Megan has gone to help, and we'll be back soon. So let's do the laps. Lando Norris is on a lap time now. He's just coming towards Copse Corner. Flat out, turn 9. Is he going to have the most speed? Answer, oh, he's not the fastest we've seen, but 299.7 kilometers is still pretty fast as he blasts past into Maggots, and then the double apex of Beckett's as well before Chapel and the Hangar Straight. A little bit wide, nearly off the track as we've seen many people this year, but he's got it on straight as we come down towards Stowe Corner. Lap times will be on the board in a second. It will be Lando Norris, the first one to give us the times on the board going forward into the Vale Chicane as well as he comes into the position. Norris to the board. 1:26.456 is the time at the moment as well. Here comes Sainz, his teammate. Oh, he's a 1:26.654. Only goes second fastest at the moment. Hamilton's on a good lap at the moment. Fastest second sector. Megan, I said, do you think Hamilton get pole, or do you agree with Dad that it could be Bottas?
I think it's highly likely that Bottas could get it. He's had a good run for the last 2 sessions, so...
He's at the pole time from Lewis Hamilton, a 1:24.616, a new lap record at Silverstone. Is it good enough though? Ricciardo, a 1:27.029. That's a bad lap from him. That's more later on in the session as well. But it is new lap record for Hamilton, and Stroll goes second, a 1:25.985 for him. Stroll absolutely dominating. Leclerc goes third, 1:26.047. Incident involving Leclerc and Stroll will be investigated after the session. Crucially, Valtteri Bottas only goes second fastest on a 1:24.766. The time's coming down. Ocon goes P7, 1:26 as well. Heads Vettel across the line. Can he improve? Fifth fastest behind. Looks at the third row of the grid, 1:26.339. And Verstappen third, a 1:25.763. So it's an all Ferrari row 3 at the moment. If you look back, actually, it's a Mercedes front row of the grid. And then it's a Red Bull Racing Point second row, Ferrari third row, McLaren is on the fourth row, and the fifth row goes to Renault as well. Megan, who do you think is going to get the front row of the grid?
I think that it will be an unlikely choice and that it shall probably be a Mercedes. So also, I have a feeling that maybe one of the Racing Points will get it. They've been going well all weekend, to be honest. And they've had quite a lot of publicity, and they'll probably just... Well, I think it'll be good for the team and, like, in honour of getting Perez better.
I agree. We have seen them lock out the second row, but that's going to happen with Hülkenberg in the pits. Stroll could at least get third. Perez got third. Oh, was it Stroll third 2 weeks ago in the session? Just to give you a running order, FP1's fastest time was Verstappen on 1:27.422. Stroll's time in free practice 2 was a 1:27.274. The fastest time this morning was by Bottas, a 1:25.873. The fastest in this session now seems to be a 1:24.616 as well. As we see. Going forward into the pit lane come Hamilton. Going forward as well. Into the pit lane, having a little bit more of a thing, just having to complete notes as well. Bottas is into the pit lane now. As we're still having problems with race control. It's unbelievable how many issues we're having. Hopefully, we might just bring him into the box tomorrow as well. So, 5 minutes to go. Everyone's completed their first run of the session. Who is going to be the fastest? Well, money's on Hamilton. He's pulled out that 1.5 tenth gap. Is he going to be quicker? That is an important factor. Hamilton from Bottas, Verstappen, Stroll, Leclerc, Vettel, Norris, Sainz, Ocon, Ricciardo. That's the top 10. 5 minutes to go. Adrian Newey, one of the best designers in Formula One, eagerly looking at the timing screens, his eyes completely focused like a hawk, looking at the timing screens and his own personal notepad, trying to find anything in the strategy that could help his team get a front row start, because I think the pole might just be a little bit out at the moment. Hamilton still seems to have found that Silverstone magic. Sainz getting ready to head back out onto the track as well. He understands he's going on a brand new set of soft compound tyres. He is. That's what we're understanding from the pit lane anyway. As race control is back up and running, and we have the pit lane channel for Dad to look at as well. Going forward then, keep your fingers crossed that the British Grand Prix will deliver a stellar grid for you watching back at home, and technically us as well, as we're in our UK studio, that it would deliver a great race. It's annoying because I should have been at this Grand Prix doing the commentary as well for the YouTube chat as well. So delighted that we can just do it here instead. Bit warmer, bit more secure as well. Big runoff for Daniel Ricciardo at Chapel, kicking up the dust even more. It's Hamilton from Bottas, Verstappen, as I said. Hamilton holds the most records at this track, 6 pole positions in a succession. Can he get pole here today at some point? Megan rejoins the back of the commentary box. Dad's at race control. All seems to be working well at the moment. Megan comes in. Look a bit fatigued there, Megan. Is it an annoying situation fixing race control?
No, more like going to throw something against the wall.
Well, we've got the tech issues back up and running as well. Dad is at race control. Over to you.
Well, yes, it is a bit tense here when Maggie comes back.
Oh, so
hopefully,
thank you very much. Thank you. So it should be working now.
You'll be in time for it.
Thank you. We've had loads of issues technically. Thank you.
Can we get back onto the Formula One, please? And the listeners are listening and thinking, what's going on about?
Basically, we're having 2 sessions at once. And because the
my
red flag's
coffee's
come
getting
out,
cold.
Not surprised. Because the red flag has come out, it's delayed the British touring cars, and we are creating a YouTube show for the British touring cars as well. So it's just completely messed up the running order here. But hopefully we're back up and running and we're smoother with 2 minutes to go of the session.
I'm not meant to do this much running.
Dad is not a race control, so don't worry. He's just sat there and we're all waiting now. We're approaching 2 minutes to go. Let's give us a stellar 2 minutes. We are live tomorrow, hopefully with a lot more slipstream effect. 2 minutes to go of qualifying at the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. I usually say this only comes around once a year, but we've got another race next weekend with exactly the same track for the 7th anniversary Grand Prix. And Silverstone's a beautiful place to do it.
Kind of takes a biscuit, doesn't it?
Yeah, speaking of taking the biscuit, I can see Race Control's got one as well. Dad?
Yeah, because there's 2 races, right?
Yes.
Will that mean that Lewis, if he wins this one and next week, he'll equal Michael? For the number of races, wasn't it 7?
6. Michael's won 9 in the same country.
No, I mean his own Grand Prix.
Yeah, Michael won 9 German Grand Prix and in races in Germany. 7, 8. No, it'll be 1 off, Dad. It'll be 1 off.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, it'll be on 8. He's won 6 so far, so it'll be 1 off. 60 seconds left here in qualifying. We have our last laps on the board now. Stroll, 2/10 off. Well, he's not going to improve from 4th place, is he? I think we've pretty much seen the grid now for the top 10. And I think it's going to be a battle between the 2 Mercedes that are going to give us the results for qualifying. What do you think, Megan?
Probably. I kind of hope for Bottas because I like how he's been in control of this session.
We will go off air straight after the end of this session due to timing frames. But a quick reminder, we are on tomorrow live for the race as well. So join us there. 2 o'clock UK time, we will go live. And the race starts at 2:10. Stroll, though, with 20 seconds left, just cut the grass coming into the hangar straight at Chapel. And I think it hasn't just lost the front wing much, but it should be quite good. I think Dad's wanting something. Dad?
No.
All right. That felt like a little bit of a Sky News bit there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the checkered flag is out. Lance Stroll is the first to meet it. Is it going to be any improvement on 4th place? No! Stroll stays in 4th. Ricciardo just behind in 10th. Rockets up to 5th. 1:26.009. Great lap for him. Esteban Ocon, his teammate, just behind. Goes P7. A 1:26.209. Carlos Sainz comes across the line of the club. He now goes 5th. Second row for McLaren. A 1:25. And Norris 4th. Stellar lap. 1:25.782. Here comes Charles Leclerc to the line. 8th at the moment. He now goes 3rd. 1:25.427. The track improving all the time. Sebastian Vettel goes 9th. And it's a race for pole position. Bottas has had a poor second sector. Hamilton crosses the line. Goes faster by 3/10. A 1:24.303. Bottas, can he improve across the line? No! It's a new track record for Lewis Hamilton. We'll wait for Max Verstappen. He goes 3rd. It's Lewis Hamilton on pole position for the British Grand Prix at Silverstone. He's the 7th pole here at Silverstone as he goes for his 7th race victory. Wow!
Well, that's exactly how I said. Well, almost.
Hamilton found that Silverstone magic, 0.3 of a second. He has out-qualified Bottas.
I feared after he used a set of tyres
that
he wouldn't be able to go for it. But typical Lewis style. Thank you, Lewis. A pole at your British Grand Prix, right? That's brilliant. All the fans at home, you just lifted them because it means we'll be happy for the Cup final now.
That's coming up after. Final word from you, Dad, quickly, because we have to go off air.
Well, can't wait for tomorrow and next week. I'm hoping Lewis wins both.
I think it's looking a strong possibility. Sebastian Vettel, just quickly, went wide at Kopp's corner, and that's why he's dropped down to 10th. Ocon did get ahead of him. Megan, final word from you. Dramatic session. We are back tomorrow. Live coverage of the British Grand Prix with watch-along commentary. And it's going to be a cracker. Your grid at the top. Lewis Hamilton on pole position. Valtteri Bottas is 2nd. Verstappen 3rd. Leclerc 4th. Norris 5th. Stroll 6th. Sainz 7th. Ricciardo 8th. Ocon 9th. And Vettel starts in 10th place. Hamilton punching the air in the cockpit with joy. Takes his 7th pole position at Silverstone as he goes after his 7th victory. Thank you very much for joining us. Join us tomorrow for all of the action. Hamilton on pole at Silverstone. Order is restored. Bye for now.